Good evening, SBC. Good evening, SBCC. Good evening, BSL. And good evening to everyone else within the sound of my voice, north, south, east, and west. You've tuned in to the June 20th, 2003 edition of SBC Tuesday Talk. And I am your host and moderator and facilitator and baked potato, Mr. Mike Walker. Glad to have each and every one of y'all here with us. We hope you had a lovely day today. We hope things went well for you today. And if not, we hope things get better for you before day's end. Thank you so much for deciding to tune in with us and spend at least an hour with us of your busy schedule on Tuesday night. We thank you for it. We don't take it lightly. Thank you so much. As always, thank you so much for your presence and your support. Okay, we're gonna get with these salutations, and let us know where you're calling from. Yeah, calling from. Well, that's fine. It's not necessary though, but you could just do it anyway though. We just glad to have you here. Okay, let's get started. Let me see who we got here. Regina, glad to have you here. Always good to have you here. You and your glasses, glad to have you here. Valerie from Rocket City, good to have you here. Good evening, good evening. Tanya, always great to have you here. Thank you so much for your support. Jim Ken, Angus, good to have you here, especially for tonight. So I'm definitely so glad to have you here tonight, though. Rochelle Ducker, good to have you here. Thank you for your presence and your support. Brunette Irizarry, great to have you here from Tampa. Good. Annette L. Price, good evening to you from Pennsylvania. Please don't start with me tonight, but thank you so much. Terrell Ann Parker from the Windy City, good to have you here. Barton Wallace, good evening, my brother. Good evening, good evening. Glad that you can make it. Sharon Taylor from Colorado, good to have you here. Erica Woods, good evening to you. Great to have you here. T. Colorado from Florida, always a pleasure to have you here. Great to have you here. Nichelle Nikki Coleman, good evening. Hey to you as well. Glad to have you here. From Maryland, okay. Will Chris from Woodbridge, Virginia, good to have you here. Glad you could join us. Good to have you here. B2B, I just call you YOLO from Tallahassee. Good that you made it here. Great. Okay. Zola, always great to have you here. Greetings and salutations to you as well. Yeah, you from Pensacola. Some of us Alabamians say Pensacola is Alabama, though, but we'll talk about that. And, of course, she says she's going to behave. Okay. Leith, Alsup. Of course, that's my friend up there. Great to have you here. Always great to have you here. Glad you could join us. Okay. So that's so much for right now. We're going to get things started. We're going to start with our little appetizer. We got to do our little appetizer before we get things situated here. So we're going to talk maybe briefly. It depends on how long this is going to go. We're going to talk about what's your passcode. What's your passcode? And we're talking about if you're involved with someone romantically. I think regardless of how long you've been involved, maybe you just started dating, maybe been a couple of years, maybe to the point that you think that, oh man, this may be the one. But the thing is, would you give them your passcode to your phone? How do you feel about that? And as you know, I got a video clip. So y'all just take a listen, okay?
Before you get defensive, become curious as to why it pissed you off. I don't understand. You don't trust me? Well, if your response is that, hell no, I don't. I'm trying to protect Team Us. And you seem to have a problem with the way that I want to protect Team Us. Well, you just be tripping. You just jealous because your last boyfriend cheated on you, and now you think I'm gonna cheat on you. And if that's the case, homeboy, then don't you think the way to not allow your girlfriend to have PTSD is to not trigger something in her by exhibiting the same behavior? You are going to totally dismiss the experience she had in her last relationship, but you think she's bad enough for you to get with, and you're going to tell her, get over the past. I'm not doing that, but you actually making her flinch because you're exhibiting the same behavior. If you ain't a dog, don't rough. How about that? If you ain't one, prove it. If you ain't like the other dudes, prove it. Give her the passcode to the phone. If that ain't you, but don't start swiping the phone on. Babe, I don't understand. I ain't doing that. Like, I ain't the last dude, so I don't understand what you. Give her the phone then. But it's only have Face ID on my phone. No. If the Face ID don't work, it goes to the digits. We'll have a 10-digit code, and sometimes I don't even remember. Shut up. Now, I be going hard on these dudes, so let me go hard on these dudes. Stop playing with these women's emotions now.
Okay, there you go. And again, what's your passcode? Sisters, what do you think about that? Do you think that someone not giving you their passcode may be a potential issue? Brothers, how do you feel about that? How do you react when a sister asks you for your passcode to your phone? Maybe you may not have anything incriminating on there, but still, it might be some privacy there. Let me see what we got here. Yes, I think she will save it. Okay. And with me, now I'm just going to speak for myself, and y'all speak here. I don't know about sharing my passcode. You would have to be my wife. I mean, really, you have to be my wife to even get that much. I'm serious. Not even engaged, not even the day before the wedding. You have to be Mrs. Walker for at least 30 seconds before you get that privilege. So I know. No, that's not gonna work right there. That's not gonna work right there. Let me see. Well, we got some folks here. Regina says, if I need his passcode, I don't need him because I already don't trust him. And that is very true, because that could go both ways. Hey, I don't need her passcode, and that means I may not trust her. So yeah, you definitely on point with that right there. You don't like that. Okay. Glad to have you here, Rochelle. That is such a touchy subject, because you don't want your spouse or partner thinking that you don't trust them, but you want to be able to be comfortable enough to share that information so that they know that you're not hiding anything. Okay, that's a good one right there. Deanna, always great to have you here. I would be hesitant if we're not married. There you go. It wouldn't be hesitancy with me. I just wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. But like I say, everyone's different though. But you definitely right to be hesitant at least. Brunette, everything done in dark comes out to the light. I don't need the passcode. It will show itself. It's called trust. Absolutely. You can only get away with it for so long and so far. Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. Andrea, great to have you here. I've never asked anyone for a passcode, nor have I been asked for a passcode. Okay, right? And I agree with you. Andrea, good to have you here. If we're not married, you don't need it. Even then, why do you need it? And like I said, for me though, if you're my spouse though, you may need to access some type of information from it. That is, if you're my spouse, you share my last name. But other than that, outside of that, no. You don't need that. Will Chris, I'm an open book with nothing to hide. If I'm in a relationship with you, okay. Renee Duncan, good to have you. I feel that if I have to ask for it, then I don't have trust for him or the relationship. I don't feel the need to check up behind my man. Okay. Uh-huh. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. TT, if we are in a committed relationship, my husband, I agree with you. Exactly. If we're married, hey, yeah, here's the passcode. Look it up, whatever. Just don't look at those pictures you and I took last night. But other than that, you can look at the pictures. You can look at through my phone. Okay. Tara Lynn says, I don't have anything to hide. I just think sometimes some things should stay private. Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with you. And if my internet is acting up, that's that old America Online right there. Nichelle Coleman, I don't think it's a big deal. However, it's really not necessary if it's requested. There is no trust. Brother Wilbanks, glad to have you here, sir. I don't give out my passcode, period, no matter the status. There is a gray area between a stable relationship and a toxic one. I don't know if being toxic has anything to do with it. They could be the best person in the world, treat you nice and everything, but and they might want that information. So I don't disassociate being toxic with that. That's just me though. Now I'm not saying that it doesn't happen, but I don't associate that with being toxic though. But that's just me. Andrea, to ask for it shows that there's some healing that needs to take place. 100%. You right on it. You right on it. King Lewis, why would you want to see my phone after I show you and you don't see anything? I'm done with you. I have nothing to hide. What are you looking for? Sometimes you get to looking and looking and looking, you find something you wish you hadn't found. So yeah, I agree with you. Nicole, good to have you here. I don't have any issues with giving out my passcode. I have nothing to hide. I don't see why I would need my partner's passcode if I choose to be with him. Seems like insecure issues. So far that's the consensus so far. Insecurity, trust issues. Brother Barton, no, if we have not made a commitment of marriage, no, I would not. But when we are husband and wife, I would give her my passcode because there may be information related to us that I have on my phone that she may need if anything happens to me. Just like I said earlier. This may be something that you need, though. Hey. So, so that's pretty much good right there. I don't know. And again, and for me, and I just gonna tell y'all this because I like to share things with y'all. I don't have a passcode on my phone. I don't. There's nothing on there to see, to be honest with you. Except pictures of the food I eat and maybe the videos I post up in here in this group in this live stream. Nothing there. You'll be sorely disappointed. You'll get mad at me for being so boring. So hey, I don't know what to tell you after that though. Only thing I can do is apologize though. Hey, that's just me right there. Okay, who we got here? Zola. I kind of disagree with him. She can be reassured that he's not cheating without having to give her his passcode. Where do you draw the line? Meaning, what if there's something else she wants to go through. Bank transactions, for example. Exactly. That's something to think about. That is definitely. Ah, and then I don't either. And my children said I should. I don't know. With the kid, well, I don't know. Nowadays, you just have to be careful about with whom you share your passcode or any other vital and secret information with. You have to be very careful these days. Like the old folks say, folks will do anything nowadays, though. So you just have to be careful. Uh well, I say this though. It's a shame that something as I guess as mundane as a passcode sharing can ruin a relationship. It's bad, and that shows a lack of trust somewhere. And again, like someone said, if something going on, it'll come out. It'll come out. Wait, we got a couple of more. Brother Johnny, good to have you here. I will be single the rest of my life if I had to do that. Boundaries. Kitty, good to have you here. I have a pin on my phone and biometrics. No one's getting it. I hear you. I hear you about that. And Tanya, I work from home and live alone. My phone only needs a code when I'm away from home. So if you are in my personal space, we already have the passcode. Okay? Erica Stanley. I would say it's the intention behind it that would determine if you should give the passcode or not. And I understand it, but like I said, for me, unless we're married, unless we jump that broom, you get nothing concerning my phone, though. Andrea, the passcode isn't the issue. Something deeper is going on. T, I do have a code on my phone because of my accounts, my banking information. I lost my phone once. Thank God I found it. After that, I put the code on my phone. Okay, Will Chris. Who wants to wait for your cheating to come out? Don't waste my time. Prove yourself. Open book. So, and I'm asking you this question: are you saying that that person should give you their passcode? I just want some kind of clarity on that. You know, uh, Kitty. I also wouldn't ask him what's in his phone that I would possibly need. See, oh well, okay. Okay, well, like I said, everyone's different. But again, only thing I'm gonna say is I have nothing to hide, but you have no right, and I'm just saying not you, just people in general, you have no right to see, and especially we just started dating. Now that's a big old no right there. I would give it okay. I just hope you just be careful with that. I just hope you be careful. Angela Turner, my sister has my passcode in case of an emergency, and she's the closest relative. If I was in a relationship, he'd had the passcode. I have no secrets. Okay, understandable, very understandable. But I guess the issue with me is just the principle, though. Why do you need it, though? I mean, other than that, I mean that's a good thing to go on, though. But hey. Tiffany Murphy. The flag is if she never puts their phone down and it goes everywhere with them. Do they let you use their phone? Do they always hide the screen? Do they literally carry the phone everywhere they go? Or will they lay it down with you around? Those are the flags, not withholding a password. And I'm glad you said that. I'm gonna do something I've never done before. It was that video I showed from what's that show? Shoot Your Shot. It was a video I showed you from Shoot Your Shot, the bride and groom, the bride coming out the show. coming out to church after they just got married though. So I hope I still got the video. So I'm gonna do a little quick switch right quick. I've never done this on live before, so that's a word. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Yeah, that's the first and maybe a few times you're gonna see me do this. That's the only way I can show y'all this video though. So here's that clip. And of course I had to mute the music. I didn't want them to shut me down though. So notice you just now, honestly, we just assuming that that's the bride and groom. Okay, but even if it's not though, I mean, I look how beautiful she looks. I'm not looking at my phone. I'm looking at her. Look at this, y'all. And like Tiffany said, maybe that may not be the problem though. I guess the problem may be why is he looking at the phone and maybe not the passcode though. Look at that, y'all. Beautiful, beautiful day, and he want to waste time on the passcode. Okay, let's go back to our regularly scheduled program and back to the orange. There we go. So, okay, here we go. We got other ones. Let me go to the new one. I should add. We got some. Sonia, good to have you here. Hello and good night to all. I have a password and biometrics on my phone, as well as my kids are the only ones with my passcode in case of an emergency. Okay. Obviously, there's levels of intimacy since everyone doesn't need to have it. Okay. Tanya. I should add, I rarely let people know where I live. Johnny Willis, it's not about having secrets. It's boundaries. Go through my phone. Don't wake me up crying. I'm thinking about principles and boundaries, just like you said. Though. But if it's in the past, though, don't look at my phone and say, "Who is this?" Nobody told you. Okay, kitty. Having a passcode doesn't mean your spouse isn't cheating. They'll just find another way to hide it. Michelle, same. Yes, lady, I have a work phone that has a passcode that is off limits. Yes, maybe a different phone. We got to do a few more. Then we're going to go to the main course. I believe it depends on the person's mindset as well. I had an ex that went through my phone. I don't keep a passcode, and he saw a text from a male friend that lives states away. And that just said hello, and it blew up. So yes, I believe there's some healing that needs to be done if an individual feels the need that they have to look through your phone. Natasha, beautiful Natasha, glad to have you here. She seems to be used to it. He does this all the time. It seems to be the norm. She's used to it in his phone. Don't disturb her peace. Okay. Donna, good to have you. My passcode is private on my phone. It's like a personal computer. Unless we are married, he will never see what's on my phone. Sounds like trust issues to me. And Tiffany, I said it by hiding the phone screen because with my ex, that was the biggest clue to him cheating. He started out leaving it on the table when he went to the bathroom or kitchen. But when that behavior changed, that was the clue. So now that is a trigger for me to pay close attention to others' behaviors. Okay, I think that's it on that one right there. So that was pretty good right there. We're gonna move on to this next course. I'm almost afraid to do it though. But before you do it, of course, as always, we ask that you please like this video, subscribe to the Facebook page and/or the YouTube channel, and share. Like, subscribe, and share. Up next, here we go. Well, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna preface this and say this. Now, let me just go and put the topic up here. Misandry. Why are men of today so hated? Over the years. Now, I see men get us men get a raw deal, a bum rap. You know, they always say something, even in the groups, where these men these days, these men ain't no good, there's no good men out there. We say something like, yeah, I was looking at her. They'll say, oh, just like a man. Crazy stuff. Yeah, man or cheat. Crazy stuff. All a man looking for is sex. Again, crazy stuff. It's all that can apply to everyone, though. But it's a bum rap. And I got material for this, though. So let's start off, though. We're going to start off. We're going to do the comparison, though. Let me see right here. We're going to get good and goobly goop started right here. Let's give us a definition, though. Let me get rid of that banner. I should have did that. Let's give some definitions first. Misogyny. In its most simple and convenient definition, it is hatred, contempt, and prejudice against women. Now, that's what we hear thrown around against a lot of men. Maybe not all men, but a lot of men. Misandry, in its own most simple and convenient definition, is hatred, contempt, and prejudice against men. The two terms are equal in their description and expression of prejudice through the lens of gender. Hate women and you're a misogynist. Hate men and misandry is your thing. And the irony of that, I'm using this definition, that this happens to come from a woman who actually just from her blog that justifies misandry behavior. So it's pretty interesting, though. Let me take this down. Okay. So misandry, and we got material. Let me see which piece of material I want to show you first. Okay. Here's a prime example. Here's a good prime example of misandry. And y'all tell me y'all thoughts on this. Is this fair? Or this just an extreme, or this just the norm?
Men are horrible. Okay? I mean, I have to just tell it to you like it is, honey. But all men are awful, really. And the key is to just find a man who's the least horrible. Men are horrible. Okay? I mean, I have to just tell it to you like it is, honey. But all men are awful, really. And the key is to just find a man who's the least horrible.
Y'all heard it, folks. Y'all heard that, though. All men are evil, according to her. See, I'm batting my eyes. All men are evil, according to her. Poor thing. She's such a pretty young lady. And she has to act like that, though. Let's look at this. Let's look and see what we got here. Misogyny is same as sexist. I think they're first cousins. I don't think it's the same thing. They related to each other. I think sexist is that you don't necessarily hate, in this case, hate women, but you still have old antiquated views and opinions about women, but not necessarily hatred, though. But that's not the topic, though. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Misandry too, okay. And I say the same thing. I go on to say the same thing. Kitty, yes, someone needs some serious therapy. Absolutely. Miss Shay Sharon Love. She sounds good to have you here. She sounds ridiculous. Not all men, not all women. Some from each group can be horrible. Miss Shay, I've been saying that. I've been saying that for years. I've been saying that for years. Both sides, both genders are capable of doing evil things, okay, to each other. And the thing is that I'm doing it basically more on Misandry because I don't think we men get a fair shot, a fair deal to speak up to or defend ourselves. But you're absolutely right. You are absolutely right. Uh-oh. And now here we go. Here we go right here. Natalie here. Okay, not all men, but there are a lot. See? There we go. There you go. There are a lot. That's what I'm talking about, y'all. You can't even say and I don't mean to be disrespectful. That's really ridiculous though. To be honest with you. Oh, my light flickering back there. That's ridiculous. To be honest with you, because all men, not even most men, I think the same thing may be said for women. Now, a lot of women may be skeezers or something like that. And I know that's not true. I can look in this audience and know that's not true. You know, okay, not all men, but there are a lot though. Wow. That's why we're having this discussion tonight. Who dumped her? Yeah. Yeah. No, they are not. Hey, Cassandra, good to have you here. Tracy Noco, great to have you here. Ignorance is what I heard. Wow. And I'm glad y'all say this, though. I'm really glad to hear you sisters say that, though. Naomi, good to have you here. Anyone who generalizes in such a way shouldn't be taken seriously at all. Thank you. And I say this out of fairness, both men and women. Because, you got some men I've seen in the group saying, well, all women, y'all don't want a good man. Y'all don't want a good man. All y'all women the same. Well, okay, what makes you a good man? And it goes right to women. All your men, y'all the same. Y'all don't want a good woman. Well, how do you know you're a good woman? But I like that, what you just have to say. Tara Lynn, a man, yes, ma'am, did something to her. And she's such a lovely girl, though, but you can't go on the surface, can you? Okay. It's lighting up, y'all. Okay. Andrea, she has been hurt and views all men through the lens of hurt. She needs to kneel and figure out why she is attracting those men. Okay, Erica, I don't think it's fair to use a broad brush like that. I've had some amazing men in my life. Maybe not a romantic partner, but some good ones have come across my path. Thank you, Erica. Like I've had some fantastic ladies, good as gold, come across my life. Yeah, they did a number, Barton. I questioned that, but I looked at the rest of her stuff. I questioned that, and I think she may be serious though. But again, that's just your opinion. She's a younger lady, only saying her beliefs. She might very well be hurt. She's dated every man in the entire world that to come to that conclusion. I feel bad for her though. Somebody hurt her. She's being teamed too much. All men are not horrible. Sometimes you have to look in the mirror and ask yourself, why are you attracting horrible men? Wow. Woo. Deanna Lewis, sad. Who has the time to hate this much? It's much easier to love on people than to hate. Take too much energy to hate on somebody. Much easier to love on somebody. Renee Duncan. The saying goes, One bad apple spoils the bunch. It goes to personal experiences as well. When one has personally bad experience, it shapes how they look at men. In the case of this video, you cannot personally lump the entire gender together based upon how one person treated you. Okay. Sounds like a lot of childhood drama or men drama. She needs therapy because those are limiting beliefs. Okay, she needs to take a look at why she's attracting those type of men. Could be her. Okay. Charlene, cuz, good to have you here, cuz. She has been hurt bad. She needs therapy. Yes, I agree. Both sexes can do hurtful things to each other. Absolutely. She's been hurt by men in her family and her personal relationships. She's grouping all men and not judging accordingly. She needs to heal. Okay. Okay. I mean, it's based on her experience, and I sounded like that 7 years ago. Sounded like that 7 years ago when I broke up with my fiance, and I was lied to by another guy I was dating. I would say not all men, but there you go. There's another one, but a good amount are. There we go. That's two, y'all. There we go. That's two. See, can't win for losing with some, but ha 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 ha. Yash, good to have you here. She's been hurt repeatedly and has never healed and has projected it on others. So her views are skewed. Okay. Okay, Erica. I don't think it's fair to paint with a broad brush. There's some good men out there, good there out there, like good women. Yeah, okay. I wish we would stop hurting one another and fighting with one another about this. Can we give each other the benefit of a doubt? That's what we're trying to do. That's part of one of the things I have for the group. Let us get together, man. Let's get it together, though. Okay, let's get together. Oh, here we go. I know some really good men, but how can you say that aren't? I didn't say that. Coming from someone that dates men, and don't get me wrong, there are some women out there that are friends that don't need to be in a relationship. Okay, duly noted. Tanya, I think some bitter women have done a great job poisoning the mind of other women. If we're to be honest, the behavior often described as bad in men is actually bad in people regardless of their gender. If women believe all men are bad and are still wanting a man, they are in need of a great therapist. You know what? Here we go right here. You know what? And I'm not going to post it up here, Kitty, but I agree with you. I agree with your question, though. But I'm going to put a pin right there because, Tanya, you said something very interesting, though. It goes back to another clip. You know, I got clips galore on this one. There's a lady who also has a video who has a justification for misandry and trying to say it doesn't mean what we quote think it means, though. So y'all take a listen.
I'm super happy to answer your question, but I know it's not in good faith. That's for sure. So misandry is a distrust of or hatred toward men, a bad opinion of men. And the thing about misandry is it's a response to misogyny. The reason people hate men, the reason people have a distrust for men, women presenting, trans men, non-binary folks, the reason they have a mistrust is because of all the shitty things that we've been through because of men. Do I hate all men? Not at all. I'm married to one. I love him very much. He's amazing. I have some amazing friends that are men, but they've shown me that they're not misogynistic. Or if they are, they're working on it. Misandry is just a response to the shitty way that women have been treated. And it's justified.
It's justified. Yet she's married. She's married. And I've heard a lot of married women on the show last month dogging men down, but she married. Dogging men, you know how men are, but she's married. You married to the same gender that you tend to dog, though. But do y'all agree with her? She said misandry is justified, or it's a response to the misogyny from the men. You know, and I agree with you, Kitty. I'm just not gonna put it up there. I agree with you though. Okay, Erica. Hurting people hurt people. There you go. There you go. Okay. Let me see what you got to say. Is it me or true that, and glad to have you here, Miss B. Is it me or is it true that some of the deadbeat, useless men, aka known as players, tend to find good-hearted women and vice versa? Women who are not about anything but are gold diggers find themselves good. There you go. I'm glad you said that. It goes both ways, though. And I bet you have. I love y'all family, but I bet you got some in the comment section say, yeah, it goes both ways though, but men do it more. So yeah, I love this though. Great. Thank you for that. Brunette, healing needs to take place so you can attract light. Healing must take place. What you invest. Okay, Renee Duncan. Another point in reference into the video of the young lady, it makes me wonder what her relationship with her father may be like. This has an impact on women, the men they choose to date. Okay, she needs to learn self-love before going to another relationship, carrying unnecessary baggage of the past. Is the solution, and glad to have you here, Tamara. Is the solution for him or her to meet a good person and then determine, not all women are bad after all? And that, you know what, that is a good question. And I'm glad you asked that question. In some cases, that might be the solution. But in some cases, you might need some help like therapy or something before you go on the dating scene. It just depends. Result may vary. I'm glad you asked that question. That's a fantastic question. Is this a mindset, a reflection of self-worth? That's a good one right there. I like that right there. You're asking some good questions. You came in here asking some good questions. So you're all right with me. Kitty, the solution is for them to work on the trauma or hurt they have experienced that have led them to have that point of view. And you know what? That could go both ways, but especially when we talk about misandry. You know, us guys catch hell. You know, us guys catch hell. You know how you men are. You know what y'all men do. Okay. But I'm not like that. And you know, and like you said, therapy. I'll read it. I see any type of agreement that some men are no good. It's getting some hate. Okay, sure. Every woman has had different experience. Some can feel what she's saying, some can't. But we can't disregard a woman's opinion because we haven't had that experience. That's absurd. Okay, I like this right here. Kitty, okay, then is a man justified in responding in hate toward women if he's experienced hurt? Good question. Good question. Good question. I think it's not direct. Okay, I know what she's saying. It's not a direct response to misogyny, I can have a issue with you, meaning the individual, and not make it about the masses. Great, great, great. Hey, that's a good one. Terry Boykins, good to have you here. I don't agree with her. Okay. Okay. Well, okay. Is just because she's married, she can't have an opinion based on her past experiences. These comments are all based on our experiences. Okay. And I respect that. No, I disagree. It's not justified. Okay, Rochelle. It's not justified. It's a choice. And in my opinion, not a good choice. Wasted energy. A big waste of energy. Okay. I like this. Tara Lynn says people look for projects or potentials. And when things that don't go their way, they tend to believe that all are bad. Preach, my sister, preach. Go ahead. I like this, Marcus. She's married to a man and she justified misandry. Tell me which part of that strange statement is true. I only ask rhetorically, and to me it's confusing. And she's not the only one. Like I said, she's not the only one. Bless her heart. Men don't do it more. Society likes to point that narrative that women are these sweet, fragile victims who never do wrong. Lies. I've known some lying, cheating women. Women who take pride in and keep count of who they use or sleep with. I witnessed this. Thank you, Kitty. Thank you, sisters. Thank you, sisters, right there. Y'all, thank y'all. Thank y'all. It reminds me of what racist people say about a certain race. They use that I have good fill in the blank type of friends. But I've had this experience, so I don't trust them as a whole. Okay. Tanya, I disagree with her. I don't want to hear from a white woman on this issue. What black men deal with is different. You know what? I'm gonna put a pin right there. Tanya, you and I must be some kin to each other or something like that, though. That's twice you've said something that can kind of segue to another video. So I'm gonna read what you just said right here. I disagree with her. I don't want to hear from a white woman on this issue. What black men deal with is different. I'm glad you said that. Glad you said that. Because there's another one. And it deals with, believe it or not, black misandry. So y'all take a listen to this.
For the last time, misandry against black men isn't real. Black women cannot oppress black men. You're feeling uncomfortable that black women are speaking against black men who abuse and mistreat black women doesn't make it anti-black misandry. Get over yourselves. For the last time, misandry against black men isn't real. Black women cannot oppress black men. You're feeling uncomfortable that black women are speaking against black men who abuse and mistreat black women doesn't make it anti-black misandry. Get over yourselves.
Okay. Abuse happens in relationships. And yeah, you got some guys who are less than men when they put their hand on their woman or just on a woman in general. But you have brothers from other races that do it as well. But again, to put all us guys as abusers because you've dealt with abusers in the past, that's not fair. We hate that happened to you. We definitely hate that you had to deal with that. But not all guys are abusers, though. And you know how, let me think of a good way to say this. It's the 21st century, and us black men are catching hell. Period. Okay? And I love my country. I love America. Maybe some of the people I don't care about, but I love this country. But a lot of us are catching it. You know, a lot of us are catching it. And we don't need to be fighting one enemy, boxing in the ring, fighting. Then we go back into our corner, and our corner man or corner woman knocks us out with the bench. You know, it's not all guys that does that. We hate that that happens to you, though. But at this point, we really need to get together, cohesive. Now, not saying that you should go back to an abuser. Heaven forbid. You shouldn't do that, though. But all men, and especially all black men, aren't abusers. Plain and simple. Let me see what the comments got to say on this. Let me see. Abuse is abuse. Go, Michelle, and I like that name. Abuse is abuse. Let me see what else. Rochelle, wrong, and wrong. Abuse is abuse, no matter the race or gender. Okay. So misguided and confused. Experience abuse is not a reason to dismiss what misandry is. And there you have it, right there. And right here, the conversation gets stalled in defense of generalizations. You keep on generalizing, all men are abusers, this, that, no progress are made. And then saying, oh, there's no good women out there. Well, guess what? No progress is made, though. At some point in our lives, we need to get together, though. But sisters, and I'm not speaking for all brothers, though. I'm just speaking for myself. But sisters, we need you. We need you now more than ever. But guess what? You need us as well. But we definitely need you now more than ever. Ever. Not talking about race war, things like that, but we need to support each other. So come on. We all need to get it together. Okay? We all need to get it together. So, with that said, please like, please subscribe, and please share. Like, subscribe, share. Coming up next, I got a video. Got to get back on the light side. It's about, I will put it out here. If I could find it though, I may not can get it though. Yeah. Passive aggressive prayer. Passive aggressive prayer. Y'all take a listen to this, okay?
Dear Jesus, thank you for this food. Please bless it. Help guide us through this difficult season of our relationship. Protect Cassie's heart because she has really, really, really been struggling. Amen.
Can I just pray really quick?
Yeah.
Dear Jesus, thank you for this food. Please bless it. I pray that Jamie realizes that my heart wouldn't need protection if I had a boyfriend who supported me.
Amen. Yep.
Let's dig in.
I'm just gonna real quick. Dear Jesus, thank you for this food. Please bless it. I'm not quite sure how you can call me unsupportive when I'm now working 2 jobs to support you painting. Help my girlfriend be a little less ungrateful so we can go back to glorifying you.
I'm gonna do one just really,
I just feel like this
Dear
food's gonna be
Jesus,
cold. We have one date night.
for this food, please bless it.
Yep.
Send Jamie a sign that it's not all about him, that painting should not be in air quotes.
Dear Jesus, thank you for this food. Please bless it. I just pray a bus comes and just drives through this restaurant.
Heavenly Father,
we're doing that now? Okay.
I pray that you give me the courage to leave.
Okay. Dear Jesus, thank you for this food. Please bless it. Here we go with the pretending to leave again.
Dear Jesus, thank you for this food. Please bless it. I will.
Dear Jesus, I pray that you give her the courage to leave and that you show me what it feels like to live a life where I can delight in your presence again. I haven't been to church church in a month because of my anxiety.
Dear Jesus.
Dear Jesus.
Dear Jesus.
Dear Jesus. Thank you. Thank you so much.
This looks really nice.
We really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Amen.
Whew. That's a mess, y'all. That's one big. That's a big mess, y'all. Y'all, that's just crazy. That's just crazy. Yes, that's just crazy. That relationship is over. Food, clothes is not. That's super toxic. Yep. Hey. Hilarious. Yep. Brenda. Yep. Let me see. What is this? That's a friend. Yep. No, I like that though. Yeah, at that point, yep. Just leave. Wow. Yeah, and we need to laugh, y'all. And I was gonna leave it at that. We really need to laugh, though. The Battle of Prayers. I mean, it do sound like some rounds, though. They're doing way too much. Yeah. Let me see right here. Let me see. Okay. I got one more video. Quick one. It's about pranks. People getting pranks played on them. Some of them may be funny. Some of them you may not find funny. Well, you be the judge of this, okay? Y'all take a look at this.
That's not the same thing.
Yep, that is smell.
Y'all something else tonight. You know that? Y'all something else. Laughter is definitely good for the soul. Yeah. Yep. Coming up next, maybe 30 minutes from now, maybe less, maybe a little bit more, we're going to have our after party. Please come in and just loosen up and have a good time and just sit a spell. Take your shoes off. Make sure they clean, and you got odor eaters on. So make sure you join us. And I don't know. I just put social up here. I don't know if I'm gonna do it or not. I just put it up here just to be nice. And next week, if it's the Lord's will, we will have another edition of SBC Tuesday Talk. So we be looking forward to seeing each other on next week. And thank you so much. Y'all have been fantastic. I enjoyed it. Hope we got informed. We learned from each other, and hope that at some points, not all, but at some points, we were a blessing to each other, though. So, and again, let's learn to get along with each other and love on each other then. So, if it's nothing else, if it's the Lord's will, we'll see you next week. Until then, y'all take care, and I love y'all.
Oh, I feel for my brother.
I say, I hope they live to see a brighter day. And the ones that are doing fine, God bless you, 'cause you're doing fine. At the end of the day, don't forget about me. As days turn to weeks, and weeks turn to years, oh, I feel for my brother. And as time passes by, I see him not satisfied. Oh, I feel for my brother. Feel for my brother. The street life used to be on, straight up hustling till the break of dawn. Taught me how to do wrong right, everything is tight. But somehow things started to change. Try to get us straight up out of the game. You couldn't see what I saw. The empire was starting to fall. And everything that I said never seemed to get into your head. I tried to do the right thing, living my life with the words that I sing. Now tell me, I wanted to know what happened to my best friend. As days turn to weeks, and weeks turn to years,